In today's video, I'm going to break down the Bitcoin and Ethereum charts and give you my overall view on the total crypto market, where I think we're going in the short term and in the long term, and how exactly you can position yourself to make the most money. But quickly, I just want to give a quick shout out to the channel sponsor, MEXC. If you get started with them today, you can earn up to $1,200 in future bonus giveaways, as well as $30 free when you do sign up. Just make sure to scan the barcode. But besides that, let's get into the video. So we've had a bit of a dip today. So from the all-time high that we just set, we are down about 4%, which is a very small move, but altcoins are seeing a bit more downside. But where are we going from here? Well, when we see red days, I always like to zoom out and look at the longer term trends. Since the start of 2023, Bitcoin has been holding this upwards trend line. And as long as this trend remains intact, I'm extremely confident that we are going to see higher highs and higher lows as we do continue to follow this trend. But does that mean we can't go down? We could always come down to retest the bottom of this trend line, where I would expect to get a bounce. But it's only at the point of actually breaking through this trend line where I would expect the bull run to be over and for us to actually be in a bear market. Now, let's zoom in a little bit. Now, when we look at the wicks of Bitcoin's price, we can see that we did top out exactly at the top of this trend line here, and we're almost forming a bit of a megaphone pattern where it typically bounces between the megaphone, and typically these will actually break to the upside, so there is very much a potential for that. But in the short term, we may see a bit more of a correction before we do get that bigger breakout, and that's actually because we're printing a bearish divergence on our momentum waves, where the price action is going higher, but our momentum waves are actually going lower, and this indicates a loss of momentum in the current trend. Now, if we were to see a bit of a correction, what area would I be looking at? Well, if we pull up the volume, we can see some very key levels here. Now, the first level I would be looking at would be the value area high and the point of control of this range. So you could almost draw a box of support in between these two levels. Now, this would be the first level where I would expect Bitcoin to potentially find a bit of support at and look for a bounce to the upside. And that will also give our momentum indicators a bit of room to come down so that we can then get that next push up on that momentum wave. But altogether, these dips are nothing to be worried about. I view dips as buying opportunities as we make higher highs and higher lows. It's your opportunity to be able to get in at a decent price before the next push to the upside. Now, when we take a look at the Ethereum chart, we can see that we did get a rejection from the previous all-time high. We pretty much came up to the highs that were set in 2021, and we were not able to break through, which led to a rejection. But for me, as long as we're holding that $4,000 level on Ethereum, this is extremely bullish, because this was a very key level that we were not able to get above. And when we finally broke out of that level, we now flipped it into a level of support, which we're currently holding. And as long as we're holding this $4,000 level, then I'm expecting when the markets to pick up for Ethereum to get a big push into all-time highs. But we may need to consolidate for a bit longer. As we do look at our momentum waves, we can see that we are overbought at the moment, but the money flow is in the green, which is extremely bullish, because the momentum waves show the short-term price action, while the money flow is a better indicator for the longer-term trend. So with the money flow still being in the green, this is telling me that we may see a bit of short-term consolidation before then getting a bigger push up into price discovery for Ethereum. And when we look at the strength of our altcoins, the best chart to look at is actually the total free chart, because this excludes Bitcoin and Ethereum and shows the strength of the rest of the altcoins. And you can see that, as we've spoken about on this channel, we're still just forming this ascending triangle pattern where we're coiling inside this support and resistance, and at the point of us breaking out, this is where I'm going to expect a massive move to the upside. And we can see that we've been flirting with a breakout, but we really got rejected, and it wouldn't surprise me if we potentially come down a bit more to the bottom of this trend line before then getting that final breakout to the upside. But what you have to remember is that the moment that we do break this level here, this is the moment when all of your altcoins are going to go absolutely parabolic and explode and do 10, 20, 30x returns in a very short amount of time. Because if we look at the previous cycle, we can see that altcoins pretty much went crazy in just this short period right here. It wasn't a very long time, but when they finally moved, they went absolutely parabolic. And that's something that I'm expecting to potentially play out as well. But overall, I'm extremely bullish for the next few months. I think Q4 is going to be absolutely insane, and historically it always has been. And when we do get this breakout, this is when millionaires are going to be made, and the people who are in early are going to make life-changing money. And this could really be your last opportunity right now to stack before we do break out and before these coins absolutely explode in price. So if you want to know what coins you should be investing in, you can purchase my top 10 crypto picks for 2025. Just click on the link in the description. And if you would like some one-on-one coaching with me to learn how to trade or how to invest, just message me on either Instagram or Twitter, or send me an email.
Bitcoin, please go to moon. Stop going sideways now. Don't ever say we going down to 1K, but Mr. Novogratz say we have bottomed out. Novogratz is bullish. Bottomed out. Don't ever rise is deadish.
Bearish target, 13 times there.
Novogratz is bullish.
Bitcoin could be at 40,000.
Let us go to moon.